Hi everybody, Rex Frost here, and this is my review of the Michael Jackson biopic. And before I get into this review, let's see my Michael Jackson moves. This is my magic hat from Kids Magic set. Can't even see my face. I am even. That was embarrassing. I'm sorry I did this to you. Well, somebody is watching this most likely passed out from secondhand embarrassment. So I'm really sorry about that. So this magic set top hat is something else. But yeah, let's get straight into this review. And yeah, here's a quick spoiler warning. Even though I will say it is kind. I mean, other than the ending, there isn't really that much to spoil because all of this stuff happened in real life, so it is kind of an odd situation. Also, do you want to here's my attempt at the Michael Jackson voice. I hope you like it. Hee hee. The thriller. Okay, well, now I'm about to pass out from embarrassment, but yeah. One of the biggest things I want to highlight are the three best performances in this movie: Jafar Jackson as Michael Jackson, Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson, and Nina Long as Catherine Jackson. All three of them gave outstanding performances. Let's just go one by one. Jafar Jackson. I mean, it takes after watching this movie for a while, you no longer see Jafar Jackson. All you see is Michael Jackson. And yeah, I mean, what an outstanding performance. I mean, one of the most transformative performances I've ever seen. He did an amazing job with Michael. I mean, especially with the voice. I mean, okay, sometimes there's moments where he wouldn't look like Michael Jackson. I mean, I saw this movie with my mom, who's a huge Michael Jackson fan, and she said that he didn't have the same build as him, which I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Also, yeah, I mean, there are moments where his head's in his face is in a different angle and then he doesn't look like Michael Jackson. But then there are moments where it's I can't even tell them apart. So it's really well done. Okay, Joe Jackson. Oh wow. This movie did an amazing job of showing how brutal of a person Joe Jackson was, and also how his brutality towards his children is what pushed Michael Jackson to being in the star that he was. So it's it is so hard to watch. I mean I do want to say that scene in the beginning of the movie was that was terrible. I mean, I'm not going to describe it. If you've seen the movie, you know, or if you just know about the person Joe Jackson was, I mean, it is terrible. But yeah, as for Coleman Domingo, I mean, outstanding performance. I mean, he just captured the brutality and kind of the greed that Joe Jackson was, and also, this is one of the things my mom said about him is that Joe Jackson had the eyes of the devil, which is me, I guess. Yeah, that was awesome. What do you think of my eyes? Do we have similar eyes? No, the real eyes. These eyes, look at them. Yeah, but I mean, still. I mean, his mannerisms. I mean, the way he walked. I mean, it was outstanding performance. I mean, also, this is something that my mom pointed out that I didn't know this, but I mean, Nina Long as Catherine Jackson. I mean, still once again, really good performance. I mean, especially because she. Okay. How do I rephrase it? I mean, okay. So I feel this movie did a really good job of showing like Michael's isolation and like how his mom was his bright light that he hung towards. And I feel like Neil Long did an amazing performance with that. And yeah, also, I mean, it's a Michael Jackson movie, so I mean, the music is going to be outstanding. And yeah, also I liked about with I liked with this movie how like rather than just like blandly like recreating all of the music videos, they did like more of that and kind of like did behind the scenes of how they're made. I thought that was just like really cool how they did it, because I mean we already have the real life music videos. I mean we don't really need another, but like doing recreations and like the way they did it, I thought was really creative. Also, underdog story, I already like touched on this a little. Was like this movie showed how Michael was like in an isolation point, and yeah, this movie does an excellent job of doing that, especially like with how Michael ended up reaching like becoming more famous than like his entire family. So like that kind of like created a really odd situation for them, because it was it was no longer just like a family thing. It was just like a Michael and the family. So yeah, I thought that it did a pretty good job of that. As for like some of my things I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I kind of understand. I mean, like the part was like the rest of the Jackson 5. That I somewhat get, because like I mean, yeah, I mean Michael Jackson. I mean, when it comes to the Jackson, I mean Michael Jackson's the star. I mean that's like how it ended, and like he did become famous than all of his brothers. So like everyone paid attention to Michael, not really them. And the same thing happens in this movie. And yeah, I think it would have been like somewhat interesting, like showing their reactions to like Michael becoming like the famous one and like passing them all up. But yeah, I mean this movie did miss out on that a lot. Also, to talk about my experience, I was actually a little late to this movie, and I missed out on like the opening scene. I mean, I came in at the part where the Jackson 5 were like at were singing at like a bar, and then they came home and a very brutal scene happened. So it's like that's where I came at. I did miss the beginning, so I'm not really sure. Also, wow, there were some characters in the theater. There was like this one kid that would like scream out his reactions, and he'd be going like there was this one scene where Michael's dad went to go confront him on like trying to break out from the family, and like Michael turned around, and Joe Jackson was there, and this kid was like, oh, watch out. That was what I was like, oh, sorry about that. Alarms, they just like to run away. You gotta get them close. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I also, yeah, there were a lot of people. I mean, especially like this. I mean, the Michael. I mean, okay, I'll rephrase this, but like going to see this movie. I mean, the Michael Jackson movie. It's not the same audience I normally see movies with like sci-fi, Marvel movies, and comic book stuff in general, because like that and like Michael Jackson are normally like the same group of people. So it's like I did get to experience what it was like with a different group. So yeah, that was somewhat interesting. And yeah, I heard a lot of stuff. There were a lot of people cheering. Also, I do gotta say it was really nice being able to sit next to my mom and her like like giving me explaining like all of the references and Easter eggs, because normally I'm the one doing that for like like sci-fi stuff. So I mean that was really cool to have the roles switched around. Also, yeah, okay, as for some of my like issues, this movie does play it too safe. Now I'm going to get into the drama a little bit, mainly because actually before I do, I want to go back to this like underdog slide and like explain it more in depth, because this movie isn't like really supposed to be. I mean, this movie is Michael Jackson's rise and what he did to get there. It's not like Michael Jackson's entire life. So it's like, yeah, this movie's like, how did Michael Jackson go from a little kid to the biggest pop star of all time? Not really like somewhat of his downfall. So I feel like that was interesting. And yeah, as for the too safe part, I feel like this movie could have planted the seeds of like stuff that went to his downfall, especially with like, I don't know. I mean, okay, this movie did somewhat plant the seeds about like the stuff Michael Jackson. Well, I mean, his allegations with all the kids, and yeah, this movie did like do somewhat of a good job with that. May I please have a water? Sorry about that. Kind of lost control over there, and let's try this again. Okay, so I feel like this movie is somewhat of a little too safe, because like it didn't really touch on like the things like some of Michael Jackson's like issues before like the point at when this movie ends, and then it just like abruptly ends. And yeah, let's just go like back to like the main stuff as like the drama. Yeah, let me just explain this picture real quick. This is Michael Jackson dangling his baby off a balcony. I don't know. I mean, Michael Jackson, amazing singers, one of my favorite musicians and artists of all time. But wow, did he do some really weird things sometimes. Like dangling a baby off a balcony. But yeah, as for the drama of this movie, I've got a lot of things to say about it, because on one hand, it is unbelievable how dumb like this entire thing started. So basically, it is like when they went to make this movie, they kind of forgot that. Well, they didn't do the research about like the allegations was the Michael Jackson and the kids, and okay, let me just explain them. So basically, there's actually I'm not really educated enough to in like all the allegations, but I mean, sum it up. There's a lot of allegations that Michael Jackson did some things with some kids, and yeah, pretty disgusting. And yeah, I mean, originally they were going to adapt that in part of the movie, but like they realized that they couldn't, because there's like part of like the contract was like the lawsuits that you can't really recreate that. So basically, they ended up cutting the movie into two, which I do feel like that is somewhat of a smart idea, because like it's kind of like a play or a musical, where it's like part one is like the rise, and then part two is the fall. So then like you kind of have uh, okay, yeah. So you kind of have like this. So it's like you have tension building, and then like you have the end of the first act, and then you have the ending where it's like the fall. So it's like you get to see Michael's rise, then you get to see his fall. Yeah, and I feel like this movie did do a good job of that. Also, uh, yeah, I mean, I feel like that did kind of somewhat benefit this movie because they can do that. Which also adding on to that, how that was close, but I mean, still like how they plan on like still like doing a second movie even though they can't. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're gonna start from scratch. I mean, they're only. I mean, from what I've heard, is that they're gonna do a second movie if the first movie makes money. Which I mean, seeing how like Michael Jackson is the biggest musician of all time, like definitively. Like, I'm not saying that out of opinion. I mean, that is quite literally a fact. I mean, this movie, there's like no shot this movie is gonna do terrible. So it's like we're most likely gonna get a second one. I will tweak out if I lose this hat again. Um, yeah. Also, I mean, yeah. I just think it's like how you didn't do your research before that is beyond me. I just think it's like I don't know. It just seems very idiotic that like they never thought to research stuff. But yeah. Also, yeah. I mean, adding on to that, yeah. I mean, I still feel like this did kind of benefit the movie. I mean, I already explained it. It was like the two-act structure. Also, I do want to say because of that, this movie does kind of end on like a second act, like there is no third act because yeah, this movie has a very abrupt ending. So yeah, I mean yeah, I mean this movie just like it ends on a high note, but like I could have used a little more. And yeah, I mean I would have definitely eaten up a 3 hour Michael Jackson movie. Also, I do want to say this movie amazing pacing, but yeah, overall I think this movie is amazing. I mean, I am biased because I am a Michael Jackson fan. I mean, the only thing holding me back from like a 10 is like this movie is a little safe, too safe to be precise, and it doesn't really, I don't know. I mean, this movie's goal is to like capture like what made him a star and how he got to that point. So it's like this does do a good job of that, but like it's not really the full Michael Jackson story. So it's like I'm not really gonna like knock it down too much for that. But yeah, I think this is an amazing movie. This is how it compares to all the other movies I've seen theaters so far. I mean, honestly, I feel like we're down off to a pretty solid year, even though we are almost 5 months into 2026. Also, I've seen surprisingly, I've seen less movies in 2026 than I did in 2025 so far. Well, I mean, the point 2025. Yeah. Also, in terms of like what I change anything around, I feel like Project Hail Mary. I'm still staying like 8 out of 10. I do think it's a great movie. Also, Mario movie. I don't know. I could totally see myself knocking this movie down to a 4 out of 10 later down the year because, you know, sorry about that. Yeah. Overall, definitely amazing movie. Feel free to tell me your thoughts on this movie down in the comment section. Also, subscribe. I do have some exciting videos coming up. I will say my full review for Invincible season 4 will be delayed for a week because I only have I only get like one chance to watch stuff on Amazon Prime once a week, and I chose to see the Michael Jackson movie rather than watch the Invincible finale. So there's that. Also, I mean, I don't know why I'm even trying to hide this anymore. I have finished all of the Invincible comics, so I do need to make a full review for the entire comic series, which I will do soon. It's just that I will be waiting for like somewhat. Oh, I almost threw up in my mouth. Oh. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, that review's not coming out for like June, maybe. So, yeah. definitely subscribe if you want to see that. But yeah, and yeah, just feel free to subscribe in general. I am trying to make it to 250 subscribers before 2027, and I honestly feel like we can do it. And yeah, I mean, I just want to build a community, and yeah, if you want to help me join, feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye.